I'm not necessarily proud to admit this, but one day in 2015, I wasn't feeling good because at this particular time I was in active addiction and I was dependent on prescription opiates. I was taking about 6 Roxys 3 times a day. It's a lot. A Roxy is equivalent to 3 Percocet 10s.
Like 60 Percocets?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
In a 3-year period, how much do you think I paid for drugs? $500,000.
Wow. 500,000?
500,000
Wow.
on Roxys and cocaine.
Damn.
Oh my God.
But at this particular point, I'm down on my luck. This is rock bottom, okay? I'm really depressed. You know, the government's coming after me for millions. I got nothing left. I'm a couple months behind on my rent. They're about to kick me out. I'm unemployed. The lawyers are about to leave me because I have no really money to pay for them anymore. So this is all weighing on me. You know, I'm starting to get what's called the okay? Where you're like, so I call my buddy up. Dude, I'm like, I'm not gonna feel good shortly. You know, can you get me some blues? Blues is the code name for Roxy's in the street. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, let's go to Newark. You drive. So I left the house with the old friend that I grew up with.
Was Lauren with you at this time?
Yes, Lauren was with me, and we got into a big fight. When I left the house, she just had the feeling. So me and my friend, we get to Newark. He's like, dude, stay in the car, and I'll get it. So I'm sitting there for an hour. There's cops running, but you know, the sirens going back and forth. Lauren blowing up my phone. You know, I know what you're doing. I'm thinking to myself, dude, like, Lauren's gonna kill me right now. Finally, after about an hour and a half, he comes back to the car, throws something on my lap. It was heroin. I'm like, dude, what the is that? He's like, bro, it's the same thing. I get back in my room. Lauren's downstairs, we're fighting, we're not talking to each other. I'm upstairs, I got the bundle in my hand, I'm feeling horrible. I'm like, you know what, man, it can't get any worse. Let me just try it. I'm not gonna feel good in about 20 minutes because I'm gonna go through withdrawals. So I take a key bump out and I tried a bump of it. And I'm like, oh, I don't like it. I feel dirty. I'm like, good. I didn't like it, I survived, okay. And then a little devil on my shoulder goes, why don't you try one more little bump? That'll make you feel better. And then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, maybe I'll try another bump, you know? So I go back and I was about to try another one and my phone rings. Guess who it is?
Who was it?
My mother.
Oh.
My mother.
Wow.
And she had no idea what was happening, but she had a lot of concern in her voice. And she said, are you okay? And I'm thinking to myself, what the is going on? Am I in the Truman Show? I'm like looking up in the ceiling like, how does she know what the hell is going on right now? So I'm like, no, Mom, I'm fine. She's like, I'm worried about you. And then I had the other key bump in my hand. That moment could have been my last moment, trying that one more time. And then all of a sudden, a knock on the door. It's Lauren. She's like, let me in. I'm coming in right now. In that moment, I felt like, you know what, this was a sign from God. It's over. And in that moment, I surrendered. Put my hands up. I threw the bundle in the toilet bowl. I told my mom I love her. I hung up. I opened the door. Me and Lauren hugged. I started to cry, and I said, I have to go to rehab. And that was the day I went to rehab.
Wow.
I've been sober
I got chills.
ever since.
Wow.
I've been sober ever since.
Oh, I looked the devil in the eye.
Not a day goes by to think that I could have also tragically passed from the disease of addiction. But my mom and Lauren, they were both fighting for my life down to the last second. And my wife loved me when I didn't love myself, you know? My wife saved me. So, you know, the man that you see today, I'm my best self, but once upon a time I was my worst self, and she was there. And I'll never forget that. Long story short, that friend that drove me to Newark passed a year or so later from a heroin overdose.
Oh.